Hi, in this installation video I will show you how to install our LITE skid plate for the KTM 690 Husqvarna 701 or GASGAS 700. You will get these parts from us: LITE skid plate, protection for the swing arm, front holder of the skid plate, this protection for the rear brake cylinder, these bolts M6 by 20 round washer head, M6 by 15 flat head, M6 by 20 hexagon washer head, M6 by 30 round washer head, M8 by 65, M8 by 25 flat head, M6 washers, M6 cutting washers, M6 cup washers, M8 washer, M6 nuts, and these rubber spacers. For installation of the LITE skid plate, we recommend you this tool: Allen key size 6, size 5, size 4, wrench size 10, Torx 30, Torx 45, socket extension, joint for the socket extension or for the socket wrench size 10. In this chapter I will show you how to remove the original skid plate from the bike. To remove the original skid plate we need to take out two bolts, one here and one on the other side. You will need Torx 30. When you remove the two bolts, you just push forward the skid plate to take it out. Before we can assemble our LITE skid plate, we need to remove these rubber holders. To remove them, you need to take out these bolts. You will need Torx 45. Now we can install these rubber holders on a LITE skid plate. Take two of these rubber spacers and place them on the holders. We will mount the holders on the LITE skid plate. You should place the holder like this. Then you will take the original cup washer and M8 by 25 bolt from us and you will mount the holder. Don't fully tight the bolts yet, we will do it later on the bike. Now we will mount the front holder of the LITE skid plate. You will need M6 washers, M6 nuts, M6 flathead bolts and cup washers. For the installation you will also need wrench or socket wrench size 10 and Allen key size 4. The front holder has an arrow mark on it and the arrow should be facing up. You will place the holder on the LITE skid plate like this with the arrow mark facing up, and then you will use the cup washers and flat head bolts. To secure the bolts which holds the front holder of the skid plate, you will need M6 teeth washer, M6 washer and M6 nut. First goes the teeth washer. Last thing what we will do, we will install the guard for the swing arm. You will need M6 bolts with the round washer head, M6 nuts and M6 washers. Then you will need wrench or socket wrench size 10 and Allen key size 4. The M6 bolts will be mounted like this and you will secure the bolts with the washer and with a nut. You will tighten the bolt and the nut that way that the washer is slightly pushed inside the plastic protection for the swing arm. This is how the LITE skid plate should look like when you assemble it with all the parts. In this chapter, I will show you how to install our LITE skid plate on the bike. We start with the installation of the LITE skid plate that we place these holders into these holes. When you have installed the LITE skid plate like this, we will then use the hexagon washer bolt which goes here where was mounted the original skid plate. You will need socket wrench size 10 with the joint adapter and extension. When you tighten the bolts at the front, take the Allen key size 5 and properly tighten these bolts which holds these plastic holders. For installation of the protection for the rear brake cylinder, we need to remove this bolt with a nut and this bolt. To do that, you will need socket wrench size 10. Take the protection for the rear brake cylinder and M8 bolt with the M8 washer. Place it like this and use the bolt. For the bolt you will need Allen key size 6. Take the M6 by 30 bolt with the round washer head, M6 washer and M6 nut. Place the bolt from the bottom like this and then you will use washer and the nut, and you will need wrench size 10 and Allen key size 4. This is how the protection for the rear brake cylinder should look like after installation. The installation of our LITE skid plate is now complete and I believe it will help you at many occasions.